You know why we're here. I've spent many hours toiling away in the lab, concocting different ideas to ruin the game. And after many days without sleeping and copious amounts of caffeine later, I've come up empty. In desperation, I tuned into Academy to see if I couldn't find any sort of spark. And what did I find? Ivern mid, Smite Karma top, enchanters everywhere. What the hell happened?
What?
Ooh.
Birdie playing Ivern? Question mark?
Well, okay. Very... Going right on back to the Ivern and lose one single member, it goes wrong, and there it is! Cooldown with auto attacks. It has become less and less popular, but hey, what do you know? It is in fact going to be the Karma top going into the Renekton.
Through watching these games and taking my notes, I just don't get it. Maybe I'm just washed up. That's why I've gone straight to the source. A player who's played the style and one who's played against it.
I think they're good for the game. It gives a diversity, and like you can see that not all of the teams play enchanters and not all of the mid laners are able to play them. So there is certainly like skill revolved around it.
It hasn't like really worked that well for me, but you know, people are good at it. Like people will know what to do, even though it's a different style. Ivern probably is the good one, just because its lane phase is so strong.
Probably Janna and Ivern. I think Ivern with Smite is not very popular right now, but you know, just being able to late invade, like Smite a buff, get level 2, that's really annoying for enemy jungler. People haven't tried that enough, I think.
Being able to pivot your build into actually being able to support your AD carry or your jungler in the later stages, that's what makes it good.
Ah, now I understand. All you have to do is sit in mid lane, clear out the wave, and then buff your team later. You don't really have to do anything. It's like a juggernaut competition all over again. It's brilliant.
1v1, you'll never win against anyone. You'll most of the times need like a little bit of help from your jungler, maybe your top laner, like the strong guys. You'll just put some seals on them and hopefully they kill everybody else.
If you don't do damage, you can't like farm on your own. You're not self-sufficient, you know? So that's the big problem you run into in the late game is you can't side lane.
Will more teams feel the Vern as we progress through our Academy season? Will it be just another flavor of the month tossed to the annals of time with the rest of the Enchanter metas? Well, only time will tell. And speaking of time, it's time for you to get out of my lab.
Hello, I'm Mad Magical, and recently I kidnapped some of our Academy players and forced them to do some menial tasks for my entertainment. As well, I've convinced one of my co-casters to now bring judgment on these players on how well they performed said tasks. You know what? Without further ado, why don't we just dive in and see how well they did.
With the stack of toilet paper provided,
make your team's logo. Oh no.
the logo must be made only from toilet paper or toilet paper rolls.
You have 5 minutes and we'll be judged on the best logo.
Your time starts now. Okay. Let's see. This one's pretty easy, I think. For me, at least.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. I have an idea.
Am I allowed to look at a picture or no? Oh, right. I'm wearing it. That's helpful, kind of.
Oh man, oh, that's not a lot, that's not enough. Oh crap. I'm gonna do this strat. Yeah. And now we need to make a circle. And that's the T. Is that good? I think that's good.
All right, get this out of here. All right, no problem. We're gonna make like the outline.
It's fine. We're speed running it now. T, there you go. That's perfect. I think 100 Thieves. Wow, okay.
Okay, that's actually not that bad. I actually think that that's not that bad, I think.
Look, Bradley, I respect the fact that you actually drew anything out, but your stripes are on the wrong side, man, and for that reason, I'm going to have to go Wixie Chime Bradley.
I heard you have my task. Thank you. Recreate your favorite moment from League of Legends history.
The moment can be from any point in LoL or LCS history.
Even if it happened just a week ago or 7 years ago, you have 10 minutes to plan out your recreation.
After 10 minutes, you have to recreate your moment.
In no longer than 1 minute. Best reenactment wins.
Your time starts now. Okay. All right, this is my shoot for Praise Arrow in the World Championship. Canceling Echo's recall. Boom, canceled. We end the game.
Oh my god, he's killing them all! He's killing them all! He's insane!
They know flash forward, but the heal comes out. They turn to Wolf as Bang feels like he can get back into the fight. Just 158 no heal. On Sama. One more shot as Wolf wants the glitter lands.
A standard Leona play.
Well, Wixie was pretty on the nose. Bradley's ambitious recreation was absolutely incredible. And with that in mind, we're going to have to go Chime, Wixie, Bradley. Can I go home now?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Figure out the answers to the questions below from the Frenchman.
The Frenchman may not answer in any language other than French.
Okay. The Frenchman may not write anything down in any language other than French. Nice.
You have 5 minutes. Most correct guesses wins.
Your time starts now.
Okay, there is no English. Got it. So if I ask you your favorite color,
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Oh no.
what is
Je
it?
dois répondre en français. C'est bleu, mon ami. C'est bleu.
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 Oh, okay, blue.
Oui,
Nice.
bien
Okay, so I
fait.
don't have to ask it in French.
Non,
I just need-
non,
oh,
non,
okay.
non.
How tall is the Frenchman?
Ah, c'est 6 pieds. 6 pieds 3.
6'2". Easy. Yeah.
Non, non.
That's not 6'2"?
6 pieds 3.
6 foot?
Non.
6'3"?
Oui.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
What is the shortest reign of any French king?
C'est 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
5 minutes?
Non, 20.
Ven.
20.
What is Ven?
3,
Non,
4,
non,
5.
non.
We can do this all day.
Oui,
6,
on peut.
7,
Non,
8,
non,
9,
non,
10,
non,
11,
no,
12,
no,
13,
no,
14,
no,
15,
no,
16,
no,
17,
no,
18,
no,
19,
no.
20.
Oui, bien
Okay.
fait.
We did it.
What do you need me for, Magical? Isn't this just straight timers that you already have? Doesn't that just make it Chime, Wixie, and then Bradley? Well, those are our final scores. Bradley has 5, Chime has 6, and Wixie all the way up as the master of tasks with 7 points. Now, can I go home now? It's pretty cold in here. It's pretty cold in here.
All right, well, Chime might have gotten second place in the Taskmaster bit that we did just there, but unfortunately not picking up that win against Cloud9. Now, we can prepare for game number 2 in this best of 2 series, guys. And the last game of the day, this is already turning out to be a very entertaining matchup between these two. That last game came down to the wire, and the Soraka lane almost worked out. The team fights were coming together, Cubby, but then that final pick, Copy, having the confidence to go in and land that charm, that was big.
I just love the angles, the setups that C9 had. When you play with a winning side lane like Darshan had in the Tony Top, you can utilize that lane priority to put enemy teams in really difficult situations. And that's exactly what they did. Every single time the Golden Guardians took a step out of line in the mid lane, they were collapsing. They were creating angles on that Soraka. They made it so hard for Chime and that Soraka to operate in the later stages of the game. And it was a really clean win from C9.
Exactly. And a reminder that Darshan bodied the top lane. Malice absolutely out farming Iconic in the jungle. Iconic was on the Xin wasn't able to get much done in the early game, just kept farming up, and you're not going to out farm Malice on Hecarim. We know what this guy's able to do. So thinking about this from Golden Guardians' perspective, Magical, they're now behind in the series. This is, again, their rematch against Cloud9, who they bodied last time. And if they lose this game, we will have a 3-way tie for first place, and Cloud9 will get their revenge. So, with the stakes set, I'm going to pass it back over to you because we are ready for pick and ban. Take it away.
All right. I was trying to think of like possible ways Golden Guardians can get control of this game right out of the gates, because we know that Cloud9, how they tend to draft is more towards the late game, more towards the scaling elements. So Golden Guardians, I'm wondering if this is where they just full commit to an early game.
They try to get all the control possible, play really, really aggressive in the first few minutes of a game in game 2 to make sure that Cloud9 never have that opportunity to scale.
Well, we do have a side swap coming in. So it is going to be Golden Guardians now on the blue side, C9 on the red. And I'm curious how this impacts the draft, because I think that one of the difficulties is that when you're playing in the Jinx, right, the opener for C9 in game 1, you have to find ways to close the gap. No one's going to have more range than Jinx, especially in that last game. So I think Golden Guardian's solution was just to use the Ornn to create space with Xin, and then have Soraka kind of keep the health bars up so you can fight and get in range of the Jinx.
Yeah.
Now that GG's on blue side, I'm curious if C9 actually gives over the Jinx to 6A. I mean, this could be the change of strategy, not being forced to walk into C9 when you are drafting a losing side. I think that maybe we see a big shift of strategy and a big shift in draft, and I think a lot of it is around whether or not GG are going to first pick that Jinx.
Well, let's find out. With the Karma being the first ban from Golden Guardians, that is a change of pace here. Not banning that Evelynn, Zeri, Karthus yet. Probably not even going to bother banning Zeri, since if it's left open, they can first pick it.
That could be another solution. Zeri provides so much absurd scaling. Like, that champion, if she gets in the later stages, is ridiculous. Not something that C9 wants to deal with. Will be taken off the table. We expect a Karthus to be banned away by Golden Guardians here, unless they have a game plan to play into it. It is the other champ that we've seen taken away from Malice quite a bit.
I'm looking up really quick the previous time these two teams met up and the strengths that each of them had, where Golden Guardians were able to get ahead. And honestly, I think it has to be Chime with Thresh. I almost wonder if it's worth getting him the first rotations of picks and not letting it get banned in the second wave of bans.
Well, we have a big adaptation from Golden Guardians, as they are going to take away the Hecarim, not the Karthus.
Yeah.
The Jinx is up. If they want the Jinx, they should take it here. Now, I love Chime's Thresh as much as the next person. It's 10-4 this season, but I actually very much prefer the Tahm Kench side of the handshake. So I'm curious if we see Golden Guardians maybe take something like a Tahm Kench here. We said that Karthus wasn't banned. That means it's the insta-lock from Malice. That is a way to deal with Jinx. If you get a really fed Karthus, pressing R takes Jinx sometimes below half health. We have seen Malice one-shotting people with Karthus earlier in the season. So I want to see if Golden Guardians has a game plan for this. Something like Jace LeBlanc, a lot of poke, deals really well against a Karthus. And I'm curious if we actually end up seeing GG opt for that.
Yeah, that definitely could be the option. And here, Tahm Kench is there. Yeah, it's a blind catch. Might as well go for it. And
I've been preaching for it, man. I think that the Thresh blinds, like the Tahm Kench side, is just so much better. So I'm curious what answer we now see from Isles. We have seen.
Of course.
Oh, the Gwen's up.
Yes, of course you picked the Gwen. I didn't even realize that we were so focused on, Tahm Kench, Jinx, Aphelios, but we forgot about Gwen.
And this is big for Golden Guardians because it's Tony Top's best champion. He's 11-3 on the Gwen across all stages of play. We expect it to go into his hands. We have seen it flexed into the jungle, but with Golden Guardians, it really feels like Tony Top's champ. Now, they can take away a few champs to deal well against it, so we could see a Jace banned away. We could also see something like a Camille taken away as well. Would not be something I'd be surprised if Darshan could play into it. And I'm curious to see what bans what champs they want to take away from Ryoma, what the mid lane setup might be, because it is a Karthus. And that, to me, signals that, we could see a Tryndamere pairing from Copy, something he's been really good on this season. We could see a Lucian. They don't want to see Tryndamere. That's already taken off the table.
The Ivern ban, though, is an interesting one from Cloud9. I would be surprised seeing Ryoma play that.
Hey, they're respecting their own tech,
yeah.
Yeah. They busted out the Ivern Gwen. They got to respect it. They think it's OP.
So make sure to deny that. They banned that, so Ryoma's not going to have that. But they also banned Soraka. They're worried about these enchanters in mid lane. Wow. That is an interesting change of pace here, especially because, as you mentioned, they're really powerful with something like Gwen.
And this is something that we really haven't seen Ryoma play yet this year. So I think C9, this is something, so I caught up with Copy before the series, and he said, C9, our mentality, it still is about making our LCS team as good as possible. It's about these internal scrims, developing our own meta. This could be a part of that meta emerging. This is something that C9 really coined in the split, and so respecting the power of that Ivern and Soraka. On the flip side, we just see Akali taken away too, so that is one of the worst matchups for Gwen at the top side we already have seen today. I expect C9 to lock in their mid laner here.
Not Jace.
I'm curious what it ends up being.
You don't expect the Jace to get locked in? Or Aurelia?
So a lane to play through. Something that is really tough to deal with in sides. It could be Darshan's. It could be Copies. A little bit of flexibility left for Cloud9. We'll see how Golden Guardians can answer. As I think that Iconic and Ryoma need to find something to get up in the face of Karthus. I wouldn't hate if I saw the Blanc. I think this is a decent game for the Blanc playing into Aurelia and Karthus.
I agree with you. I think that would be the perfect pick. They're kind of waiting a little bit longer, but I'm expecting that it is going to be that LeBlanc to back up a lot of the engage. Look to see if he could tag team with Iconic. We asked for it last game. We didn't see Iconic and Ryoma really actually make much work of that duo that we expected with the Xin Zhao Rise. Locking in this LeBlanc, that gives them a lot of opportunities to try to invade fully around Malice and never let Karthus get off the ground.
So still a big emphasis for Golden Guardians on this mid-jungle duo, and we'll see if Ryoma and Iconic can get a bit more going, as you hinted at. The last time we saw Malice's Karthus, it was Jimmy's the Blanc going off. He went legendary that game. It's a really good pick on the Karthus. If Karthus gets behind it all, you can pop Karthus like a balloon over and over. And we tease the flex for Copy. We're going to have the Fiora taken for Darshan. This is a brutal matchup for the Gwen at the top side. So a very different look for C9 playing around this Karthus. It's something that we expect for them to be prepped with, expect for them to play around well with. And the difficulty for Golden Guardians going into C9's comp is that for C9, you're trying to set up a 1-3-1 where you have a Karthus ult in your back pocket and winning solos. So it makes it even easier for Darshan and Copy to win on sides. Now, I think the way the Golden Guardians breaks this is by getting Aurelia behind mid or trying to fight the Fiora. I think if Golden Guardians can break this, can get up in the face of Malice, they can snowball this game early, but C9, with these scaling sides, we've seen them play so well with priorities, so well in the side lane historically. It's going to be something that Golden Guardians are going to have to get out ahead early to get ahead of the curve and not allow C9 to find that setup in the later stages.
Which is funny because with the Gwen and Jinx, you kind of expect more of a scaling option for the side of Golden Guardians. You don't expect being up front and personal right out of the gates, but I agree. They kind of have to. You need to make sure the Xin Zhao LeBlanc are put in the perfect position to then translate that lead elsewhere, to go into these side lanes and make sure that Copy and Darshan are not just hard carrying or even backdooring as with Aurelia and Fiora they can do.
We're going to have to keep our eyes out. I know that early on, Ryoma will have lane priority in the 1v1 against Copy, and I think importantly, Ryoma just adding to the spice, adding to the emphasis on the mid-jungle duo we're going into this game, Mad Magical. He opted for Ignite on the LeBlanc, so Iconic Ryoma looking for blood early.
Yeah, that is actually quite a statement, because in that last game, we saw how powerful Ryoma was. Even if they weren't able to find the victory in that game, Ryoma's rise was setting up a lot for the team. The 1v2 where he nearly got a double kill off of both Copy and Malice, or even just looking at how he played some of the late game fights where he was constantly kiting back. So now that we are diving onto the rip for our final game of the day, it is week 7. This is our match of the week. Golden Guardians Academy, Cloud9 Academy, both have all 5 members here to party in topside.
Oh boy, we're getting feisty early as Redline.
Looking for the damage onto Chime. He still has Flash available, but that's a lot of damage coming in from Malice. Looking to chase down Chime as best as possible. But honestly, they've got what they've come for. They're going to force back the members of Golden Guardians and gain control of this quadrant of the map.
Tony Top will stick around the corner, so it should be an okay reset for Chime. Just some bonus gold for Malice connecting with those Skittles. Oh, wait, this could be bad.
This is looking really bad. This is that combo. They got the flash out of his King already, but look at 6A. Even with the stun from the duet from Copy, it is 6A getting so much damage onto King. One more heal barely gets King alive, but look at Isles. The flash from Icon. It is a whole fiesta, but First Blood is picked up by Golden Guardians. They've got more to look for, though. Copy and Darshan are pretty low, but Ryoma is also really low himself. They've got 1 kill. They've got 2 kills. Man, it is just a
Fiesta about. I almost said something I shouldn't say on broadcast.
my goodness.
If you got a triple kill early,
What is going on?
Chime is here to help out, but they can get a quadra kill immediately out of the gates. But
No
Coach
way.
of the Year, Malice makes sure it's not an early penta, but he finally falls.
What a start to the game. The match of the week, the two best teams we have in Academy. Just a level 1 bloodbath, man. It's scrim time, baby. Game 2, we're throwing it down. And Stixay, he has a Noon Quiver. He's 4-1-1 with a Noon Quiver and socks.
There's a reason
He's so
why I
bad.
had to stop myself mid-word of what I was going to say during that. It was,
Holy fudge.
where's the mute button, the censor button that when I need it?
Yeah,
Rafa?
okay.
Let it speak.
Well, here we go. Replay. So, King, Isles trying to get back to the lane in time. They get picked off by Ryoma's chain, and this is the issue of fighting level 1 against a lethal tempo marksman in Stixay, is that he's just able to keep on stacking up that attack speed, getting excited, making use of the range on Jinx, and Stixay just cleans up this fight, Mad Magical. And what a wild start we have to this game, too, because this means, honestly, disaster for C9. You have to already deal with a 4-1-1 Jinx that, like, in the Tom Kench lane, you are not going to be able to move this pick. Malice wants to farm early with all the sums being down. If you're Golden Guardians, you want to continue to attack. And I don't think C9 have the setup to do so.
Oh, look how far back King and Isles are forced to play because of the Noon Quiver you talked about, Cubby. They can't really do much.
That versus a longsword.
This is insanity for Golden Guardians, but this is what I asked for. I wanted to see early game plays. I just didn't expect that.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that you're still with us, Mad Magical. I thought after all these games of being like, oh, there's no action level 1. You get 9 kills. I thought you would have like passed out or had a heart attack. I'm glad you're still with us.
Look, I am very ecstatic of what just took place. Don't get me wrong. That was amazing. It was. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. They definitely did it for me and no other reason.
Well, returning to game state, we have hit a lot on how Stixay is incredibly far ahead. I was going to talk about how Malice has 2 kills and could be accelerated here too, but we have to pause because Golden Guardians, Iconics are going to do something early.
Oh, they're already looking to dive. They've already got the pull back in. They've got the damage on to King. King can do nothing here. Chime cleanly dives him.
That's just textbook play from Golden Guardians. Sums are down. Chime takes the aggro, walks out using the thick skin to make sure that they're A-okay, and Golden Guardians push Stixay even further ahead. This is the adaptation we want to see from Golden Guardians this game with Iconic. Him attacking lanes early. X marks the spot. Already been able to do that.
Observers, can we please see gold? I know it's early into the game. I know we normally don't. But I just want to thank you. I just want to
That's a lot.
Yes, double the gold of King.
And just to put an emphasis on what Stixay has been able to do in Academy so far this season, I think Kangas already highlighted coming into the series. He had 162 kills. That is 40 more than the next highest in Academy. He has an average goal differential at 14 of being up 415, which is the highest out of all marksmen. And he also has the highest DPM out of any marksman at 651. He is 4-1-2 in this game. And if anyone I have confidence in Academy to drive home a lead as absurd as this, it is going to be Stixay as Tony.
Wait, what? More Fiestas! It's a trade of 1-for-1 top lane, and then we get a dive on a copy mid lane.
Honestly, the fact that Tony top trades out in the top lane is huge because Darshan loses a double wave from that all-in. So Golden Guardians trade up. They take down the top laner. They also take down the mid laner. We're going to get a second look at how copy went down as it's just all attack mode for Golden Guardians. Look at Chime using Flash as an offensive ability, Mad Magical.
As it should be.
They're even checking out more boxes for you, buddy.
They are literally every box that I possibly have. The only thing next is building Axiom Arc. Then I will be fully satiated.
All right, well, we'll keep our eyes on out for something crazy like that, as if we haven't had enough craziness already. One of the issues with this lane and how things have gone as well, you can see Malice walking out of the jungle, making sure that Copy is able to get this wave in. Will do so successfully, but you can just see the consequences for C9's early, these 9 kills going on across the map. It really feels like this 1-3-1 game plan that C9 wanted to set up. It's not only going to be delayed for their solos, but Golden Guardians are the team that plays through bot. They play through Stixay. He has this absurd lead early, and C9 just has no way to break it.
So I'm just going to put this out. Golden Guardians, they got the shortest game of our split so far against Cloud9 in the first game they faced off with the new roster for Cloud9. They've also been a part of the game with the most kills at 64 last week against FlyQuest. But
that was Golden Guardians, yes.
Yeah, that was Golden Guardians. But not just that. This is all about Golden Guardians.
Oh my goodness.
6A has also got the most kills in one single game of any player at 14, again against Cloud9.
Yeah, in the first game on the Jinx. They were on red side, so it's not complete deja vu. But this is still just an absurd lead for 6A. And you can see already has 3 plates on the Jinx. Golden Guardians cashing out on this. They don't really have to do much more, right? They can just kind of chill bot and challenge C9 to break this. That is one of the issues of the level 1 for C9 taking it on their side. Karthus can't really do anything until he hits 6. And so with all these summoner spells being down, with all these weird leads created across the map, Golden Guardians, they have the jungler that can cash in on this. As it we C9, they do trade flash for flash. That is well worth it.
Hey, you know what? It's getting something. It's getting something for Cloud9.
They got to do that. You have to shut down Sticks.
Right. They've got to. Because he has 4-1 and 2. We are only 8 minutes into the game. And we already talked about the combination of a Xin Zhao and LeBlanc to look for Karthus, to make sure they can bully him as much as possible. They weren't able to make it work there. Now they have to deal with Copy on the other side. Iconic already knew, though. He's already completely focused him off from the rest of the team. Here comes the Requiem, but it couldn't save Copy's life.
Dead.
He died immediately.
And the Golden Guardians, they want more.
Oh, Chime! Interrupting the Spider-Man to get another kill for 6A. They are doing an amazing job in this bot lane. Golden Guardians already 3,000 gold ahead.
And Ryoma's pulling the wave. They're going to crash with Stixay. They're looking for more Malice.
Oh, Malice is in danger. Where's the meme? Where's the Simpson meme when you need it? Because now Malice had to flash away. He gets the kill on Ryoma. Maybe he's not in danger. I don't need a doctor.
Malice.
I don't need an ambulance. It is you who needs it.
Okay, so Ryoma, he took a tower shot before the wave crashed because Malice was stalling it. That was crucial because he falls, able to pick up Chime in the back half, and that's huge for C9 because at least it gets Malice 4 kills. At least it gives them some footing to stand on in this map. And this game, it's not over yet.
No, now you've got to deal with it. The Karthus versus Jinx. Which one is better at scaling and being the carry for the team? It is all down to this, and right there, Malice, that was some good work to start it off.
All right, we got a replay of just how Malice was able to take this down. So Ryoma, you can see he just came out of taking that tower shot. So when he shifts back, Malice just walks up, drops a Skittle, guesses Chime's dodge there, ends up picking up 2. And Malice, now moving forward in this game, the good part for Golden Guardians is that they do have good tools to deal with this Karthus. And most of that's going to come from Ryoma's LeBlanc. You are always going to be able to poke out Karthus and get on top of him and sidestep, stay out of range of the Skittles if you return to that distortion. So it is an angle for Golden Guardians in this one, as I mean, some of the difficulties for Golden Guardians are just going to be, or for C9 is going to be getting on top of Stixay.
Right.
They have to make sure that they force the flash and that the engages are clean to follow up. So it's going to be a little bit of a push and tug, but I think overall, I'd still much rather be in the game state that Golden Guardians are in, where you already have Gale Force completed on Stixay, and you're already about to knock down this bot lane turret just by the work through a 2v2.
Yeah, they get the 4th plate on this turret for free. There's no answer that Cloud9 have because they were still a level behind. In fact, they were 2 levels behind Stixay until they leveled up at that moment. This is giving the rest of Golden Guardians so much opportunity on the rest of the map to look for things like that Rift Herald. Even if they didn't get the dragon initially, it's all these little objectives that will add up.
Yeah, and I mean, we mentioned earlier, Tony Top, this is a very difficult matchup for the Gwen, but even him being able to trade out that solo kill that went over to Darshan, he got the wave in, and they were able to take Rift Herald too. So that's big for Golden Guardians. They can use that to try and break open another lane that they shift Jinx into after they take this bot lane turret. I think that's immediately where Iconic's going to go. He's going to try and get in this lane, make sure this turret falls, because once this falls, Golden Guardians can make the dominoes fall with how fed Stixay is.
Let's flip. Let's go to the other side. Let's look at Cloud9 and what they can do to get back into this game. Because they do have Malice, 4-1. He is the carnivore in this game. This guy is put in the position to be the carry, but they also have side lane threats. Even if Copy is only 1 and 3 at the moment, eventually Aurelia becomes difficult to deal with in a side lane. Same with Fiora.
And Darshan does have that big lead emerging in the top lane again with that counter pick. So that is a good sign for C9 with that backdoor win condition, but it's still going to take a while for them to get there. Ooh.
Nice dodge from Ryoma.
That was very slick.
Showing some proficiency there, but here's Darshan looking for a fight against Tony Top. Anytime Tony Top looks for these minions, especially if it's frozen a little bit outside of the lane, it's going to be easy for Darshan to punish them, but the big punish is still C9A. Getting that tier 1 turret in the bot lane for free, again, more gold into Jinx's pocket.
Look at Ryoma here. He is wrapping around onto Isles. Golden Guardians might be looking. Tony Top is leaving this this side wave.
Oh.
Darshan pops ult.
Pops ult. He could look for the dive. Requiem has been popped, but it's a nice dodge with the Gwen's immune ability that everyone likes to meme.
At least it deters Golden Guardians' attempt to collapse onto Malice in his own jungle. And I think at the moment, King, he has frozen this lane. So the pressure's on Golden Guardians right now to make something happen. You can see C9A, Chime, rotating into this side lane. We wanted to see Iconic follow up and drop.
Chime. Yeah, there you go. You gotta wait for your Fed
Respect
Jinx.
flash.
It's a Respect Flash, but you needed to wait for your Fed Jinx first.
And Isles, he might be in trouble.
Yes, the rocket gets another kill for C9A. He's at 6. He is not quite halfway there, but he's getting close to having another trajectory for the most kills.
So C9, they know that Golden Guardians are setting up to drop this Rift Herald top and to funnel Jinx more plates. They're trying to get involved and break it, but I think this is some of the early power that LeBlanc, Xin Zhao bring to the table.
Yeah.
This is another reason why level 1 is so deadly, because when you make this game more volatile, in the early game, the team with the more early game tools, they're the ones that get to push the pace and the tempo. That's exactly what Golden Guardians are doing right now.
Oh God, what is that? 5 plates bot lane, more plates top lane, 3, going to be total of 5, so 10 plates picked up by C9A.
He's nice enough to share a couple, man, Magical. You got to give some love to your team, even if you're the marksman.
I mean, he's still at this point where he's 6-1. Got a Gale Force completed, and they just kill Copy underneath this turret because they have the charge. Even with the Ignite, it's a kill. Ryoma's taken low. Darshan gets one back, but it's a trade again.
And Darshan, I think him reaching for solo kills like that, it kind of shows the mentality of C9 at the moment. They know they're down. They know they have to make a miracle happen in order for them to come back. And they know that they can't answer C9A. Because C9A, he took that inner turret down, so this Jinx, look at the items Jinx has. This is usually the time where if you're on pace for a Mythic, you finish it around this stage of the game, right? Like 12, 13 minutes if you're a carry. He has 2 items and a BF sword. We're 14 minutes into the game.
This has got to be a bit of deja vu for Cloud9 right now. 7-1, halfway to tying in the most kills in a single game for C9A. So much gold poured into Jinx. We got to take a look at this replay. Realma, he does his best to dodge away from Darshan, but it's still a Fiora and easily dive.
I respect it from Ryoma. I think if he flashed earlier with the Q, he might have had it. Or dodged down to the Q, he might have had it. Instead, just going to be the trade. Once again, Darshan pushing really hard just because they know that this game's doomed. And as we return to the live game state, when C9A, a marksman, is able to solo walk in and take a red buff, that's when you know things are pretty bad.
Yeah, it is. It is rough right now for Cloud9. And God, I don't know how many times I've said this. They do have a saving grace in Malice. 4-1 still. He's getting these items built up. Darksteel hasn't gotten any more sacks on top of it. But if they can bring in Malice a bit more into some of these fights, get more kills onto the Skarthus, that is a way to answer C9A.
And at the moment, it seems like GGA are trying to find a way to answer Darshan, as we are going to have a first strike ultimate for Malice with the purpose of funneling more gold. Was able to pick up the needlessly large rod in base. This is, of course, being dropped because I don't think C9 have any plans of contesting this Rift Herald. And the next objective that they do have an opportunity to maybe contest will be that dragon, which Malice will have the ult back.
Darshan gets spotted up, puts down the grand challenge, gets a little bit of damage on Tony Top. But look at the damage Tony Top did back to him. Darshan gets bounced around this entire time. It's a killing spree for Iconic. They've got the kill onto him. There was a nice flank angle coming in. Double kills for Malice. This is why I said they can rely on Karthus as late game insurance.
But this is all Darshan, and I think it's Darshan. He knows this game's doomed. And this is some of the experience, some of the veterancy coming out. his ability to just see any angle, be like, you know what? I think this is a 50-50 for me, and this is the best opportunity or the best look we may have.
Ryoma takes a lot of damage. Forces distortion
away. Wait a minute. They got the vision. King
get in
takes
range.
down Ryoma.
Okay, so C9 find a couple positive plays. That's now only a 5,000 gold lead in favor of Golden Guardians still, but I just love the aggression, love the willingness for this team to make plays. We're going to take a second look. Yeah, Darshan, he knows that this is a tough scenario, right? But his ability just to make sure he gets 4 procs, he buys the time. Yes, he goes down, but it's enough to make sure that his team gets a numbers fight, something that's really tough to find in this game state. That's all from Darshan, just making this game more volatile. It ends up paying off for C9. With those kills and even more as King picked up one.
King picked up one. They got 8 stacks now on the Dark Seal for Malice. Next time he recalls, I'm curious to see if he's able to complete one of those big legendary items to get more of a punch towards that Requiem that he will have up momentarily.
And I think for Golden Guardians Academy, so they are going to take the second Rift Herald. They have a couple inner turrets to knock down, but they're still way ahead of the game pace, way ahead of where you're supposed to be at the moment. C9 still don't have any objectives taken. Now, the nice part for C9, they do have both dragons. And that's something where it takes away the soul condition for Golden Guardians. So I want to see how aggressively they're able to play around this Baron. Because I think Baron is going to be a significant objective for Golden Guardians, just given how quickly Stixxay can take it, not only as a Jinx, but a Jinx this far ahead of the power curve. And then also, you can bait Malice into positions where Ryoma can land poke, can try and one-shot this Karthus like the Blanc can do. So I know it's a couple minutes away from spawning, but I want to see if Golden Guardians are able to take the dragon cleanly and then really push hard around this Baron.
At the moment, Cloud9 kind of just waiting it out. Chime steps out a bit far, just takes a little bit of Skittles. Only a taste of the rainbow.
See, if only he was using the Master Tom Kench skin, then he could really enjoy the rainbow with the cutlery that he brings to the Rift.
Does that
he's got the fork and knife. You know?
What? You don't... Cubby, do you eat Skittles with a fork and knife?
I mean, have you seen how big the Skittles are from Karthus? They're hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, but you don't need a fork and knife. I don't even think you could cut through them with that.
I see. I'm not going to change your mind with this. But we are still 35 seconds away from the dragon. Malice going to wrap up his clear. Still very far ahead of Iconic. Karthus is fed. It's just a question of what can he do being fed as C9. I mean, they realize the importance of Soul.
Yeah.
And so I think they have to push really hard around this. Their only chance to come back and win in this game, I really feel like, is getting this Infernal Soul. The only way they're going to be able to curb the power that Stixxay possesses at the moment.
Ooh, King forced to heal. They've got the rockets, though. 8 kills in the bank for Stixxay. Isles will be the next. They give it over to Ryoma. Cloud9 are now completely split up. There's no fight. They are doing their best to delay, to drag it out, to see if they can kite back and get a little bit of damage, but they're taking way more from Stixxay's zaps.
And they're on the wrong side of the map. We'll see if Golden Guardians that off. I don't think they are. I think they're just going to try and chase this Malice.
Here's the Requiem getting a lot of damage. It's a kill and a shutdown for Ryoma. And without Malice, he's the one with the gold. They split him apart. Unstoppable Stixxay. Golden Guardians wipe the floor with Cloud9.
And that all started with the pick from Ryoma. This LeBlanc, his ability to cheat terrain, get on top of the the right members for C9. Once King falls, you're going up against the Jinx. Jinx is 7-1-4. What was it coming into this fight? Stixxay had a completed Infinity Edge. If you make one mistake, you drop one member, this fight's over. And Ryoma makes it happen. A beautiful find. I love the proactive flash forward. The rocket connects, and everything falls apart for C9 after this.
You take a look at this replay, it's like you said, it just all falls apart, and then C9 are on the wrong side of the map.
And, I mean, for Golden Guardians, we have seen C9 make some nice attempts to get back in this game. I like Darshan just going for plays, but that was one where Golden Guardians, they broke the setup of C9. C9 were not yet set up. They were still rotating members to get to the right spot, and so much credit goes over to Tommy, to Ryoma, for finding that angle, taking down his Oceanic brethren in King, and making sure that Golden Guardians were not going to drop the absurd lead that they granted Stixxay from that early game bloodbath.
Oh, and he's 9-1. He is absolutely fed out of his mind, so they can easily kill Malice without any regard for the rest of the members of Cloud9.
And that's Smite off the table. This should now be Baron off the table as Ryoma is going to deter.
Once again, but he gets spotted out by Darshan. A little bit
Nice.
wise to the antics of Ryoma, but that still does not stop the rest of the members of Golden Guardians from taking that Baron.
It's gone, right? And C9, they know they can't contest. They're just going to try and get any other gold they can on the Rift. They know this game well out of reach. They've been trying to make it volatile. They've been trying to make things crazy for Golden Guardians, but GG, they've held strong.
They have, and now it has granted them an 8,000 gold lead over C9, 22 minutes into the game. And look at the lead that C9A has. Nearly all of that lead is on Jinx.
The level 1, we can't go throughout this game without talking about the level 1, how disastrous it was. But props to C9A for making sure that lead did not go to the wayside. He was the one pushing the pace of the game and finding everything. And now C9, they were trying to get a pick. They were spotted out. Now Ryoma.
But that's a good stun that came in, missing the Vanguard's edge. Here's a Requiem on the other side, but they've already lost both the people in the bot lane. So Malice is just getting crit for days. More kills, more gold for C9A. He is 11-1. He needs 3 more kills to tie his record, 4 more to break it. And with King having to flash away, they can easily grant him a 12th one. Look at the damage that comes in. It is an official triple kill and legendary status for C9A.
Oh man, it's deja vu from the first time these two teams met. C9A's Jinx running the map. A closer matchup this time. It will be a 1-1. C9 definitely showing their improved look, but man, Golden Guardians, I like the draft, the game plan, taking
Oh my god, they're just ending.
their ability to play this game, and yeah, this one's over. C9A's too fed, man. He just ripped through the base.
I was hoping they could break that record. I was hoping they'd get more kills, but instead, they just want the guaranteed victory and tie up this best of 2 at 1 apiece.
And a good bounce back for Golden Guardians. I thought honestly, the second game, like, that got pretty crazy with the level 1, but even the first game and their loss, I thought both teams played pretty well. And the angles that C9 were able to face on Soraka, or find on Soraka, I think that was really textbook League. But this time, getting a lead on your marksman and how you transition that across the map, this is what Golden Guardians has been doing in so many of their wins. And if you give C9A a lead like that, the best performing marksman we have in Academy, he's not going to let it go.
I'm still offended that you call it a good bounce back. That is a great bounce back, an amazing bounce back, and a fantastic, impressive, all these other adjectives and synonyms that I could possibly think of. That was an incredible turn of events for Golden Guardians, especially, I mean, you said it as well. Keep talking about the level 1, because that is what defined that it defined the whole game.
Yeah. It was crucial, and I think that's why I say it's a good bounce back, because when you get to that sort of deficit of C9, it's pretty tough to win the game from there. But, I mean, credit to Golden Guardians for making that call level 1. I think it was a good understanding of the strengths of their comp, playing with lethal tempo, knowing that you have a volatile mid-jungle matchup and that C9 can't match if things get crazy early. And they took it, got the kills on the right people. C9A got a quad level 1 and really ran with it from there. Golden Guardians, no looking back. And, hey, they're going to at least keep steady in the race for that first place seed. That was a pretty critical matchup. Golden Guardians do own the head-to-head in case there is a tie now moving forward.
Yeah, but we got to toss that break. We got to get into our interview for our winners in that second game of Golden Guardians. Make sure you stay tuned for it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back for our post-series interview with Golden Guardians Academy jungler Iconic, with maybe an iconic level 1 early game there in that game 2 against Cloud9. I gotta start there, man. What the hell was going on in that level 1, and what gave you the confidence to just full send it?
Yeah, I mean, we were looking for like cheese initially, with like people going over the wall and just like trying to get a free kill, and then they had 5 people there. Kind of caught us off guard, but we wrapped around back through mid lane and got kind of a good start to the fight. So, and our Jinx got 4 kills level 1, so that's pretty good for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, was that the strategy all along against Cloud9? It's like, all right, let's just tilt them for what we did to them last time. Start Stixay off with the Moon Quiver in the lane. Seems like it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Yeah.
It does help, but I do actually want to talk about the strategy you had coming in, because you did ban out some of the specific junglers that Malice does like to play, and you yourself was playing a lot of the Xin Zhao. So I'm just curious, what was the prep like going into a match against Malice? Because he's a very unique jungler. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that matchup.
Yeah, we went with the Evelyn ban initially just because no one really likes to play against Evelyn, and it's like really hard to play against for the carries, and they're just like, they just want to have fun, so you just ban Evelyn, yeah. But we had to ban Hecarim the second game because he kind of ran us over the first game, and we didn't punish it very well, so yeah.
Sure. I mean, yeah, the Hecarim was terrifying in that game number 1. And now this was your second time playing against them in the round robin. You're done in the regular season, but there is a chance come Proving Grounds you'd play against them again. So what's something you would do different in a future matchup against Malice?
Just gotta play the early game better and like just need to dive his bot lane. Because he was able to like take our top turret and we didn't dive their bot lane, so yeah, I just need to like punish the bot lane more.
Sure. I mean, that seems to be the recipe for success against Cloud9 as of now. That's what you did in the first series against them, and then also in that last game. But after that last game, you're now in sole possession of first place. Golden Guardians Academy do hold the number 1 spot in Academy right now. What do you credit to Golden Guardians Academy's success right now?
It's probably just my teammates are playing really well, and just trying to improve in practice. Even though like sometimes practice isn't like the greatest, we just try to be resilient and just come into the next day just trying to improve every day. So yeah, shout out to the teammates.
I like it. I like it. So humble. You're not taking any of the credit yourself, man. Come on.
No, they're smurfing.
All right. Well, Tony Top just had to lane against Darshan, so I specifically want to hear you say something nice about Tony Top. What you got?
Tony Top on red side has to blind pick. Usually top laners get the 5th pick top, but Tony Top took one for the team, picked up the Ornn. He doesn't really have fun playing the tanks, but he's taking one for the team. So
we appreciate Tony Top. We respect Tony Top in this house. Thank you so much, Iconic. Podium is yours right now. Any final thoughts you have to say for anybody out there watching?
Thanks for watching and supporting my team, and gonna keep on trying to improve for Proving Grounds.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see where that journey takes you. Thank you so much, Iconic.
Thank you.
And with that said, we're going to bring back the casters here to close out the day. So, Iconic, that was awesome having you on. But now I get Cubby and Magical back to wrap up that series. 1-1 on the scoreboard. No ties for first place anymore. Golden Guardians have officially taken that mantle. Cubby, I know they've been working for this so hard for the past couple of weeks. And you got to imagine that this means a lot for the team.
Yeah, I mean, like talking with Stixay and kind of some of the turnarounds that they had to go through as a team after dropping an amateur tournament to 100 Thieves Next. I think that it speaks a lot to a team that they are more experienced, right? 4 of these players played in LCS last year, and they still had to make strides, make improvements as a squad to end up topping our Academy League. And I think a lot of credit should go over to them, and a lot more, effort info should be like put in rather than like, oh, like these guys just had 4 players that were in LCS last year, therefore they're top of Academy. That wasn't the case in the early weeks. They had to come together as a team. They had to figure out how they wanted to play. And I think that ability to find an identity and kind of play through it is really doing Golden Guardians a lot of good. And the reason that we see them at the top of our standings at the moment.
Exactly. And now let's take a look, actually, at what happened elsewhere across the Rift, because, of course, we teased it. Golden Guardians Academy at the top of the standings, but why is that so?
The 2-0 from Dig. Oh my goodness. I know. That was
by Dignitas.
I got to go back and see that for sure. That's a big surprise to me. But congrats to Dig on the 2-0 and Immortals as well on the B stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
they finished super fast. They finished like while we were in our game 4 of our broadcast.
Oh
so,
my.
Yeah, I'm very curious what happened over on that stream because Magical.
I mean, at least for everyone at home, I do have to thank C9 and Golden Guardians because I've been missing being a coach sometimes. And that game 6, they just gave us a scrim. I've missed sitting in on scrims. Got to sit on one here. It was huge.
That was one of the more ridiculous starts to a game of League of Legends that I've seen in recent memory.
That was the best. What do you mean? That was the best start. They gave me what I wanted. They all 5-man fought right at level 1.
Level 1 quad.
It was
Yeah.
almost a
Magical.
penta. It was almost a penta.
Two truths. It can be both the strangest and the best at the same time. But with that said, let's take a look at the games that we have coming up for the rest of the week. We have 5 more best of 2s coming tomorrow. This is what will be played on twitch.tv/academy. Golden Guardians will have another game right off the bat against TSM, who split their series against FlyQuest today. CLG... I don't want to say the word slump, but it's the word coming to mind here. They split a lot of series in the last weeks. Now 0-2 to Dignitas. This is going to be a big one for them against the Thieves. And then FlyQuest against Dignitas, who just 2-0'd the team that was in first place.
And those last 2 series are going to have a lot of implications for our standings, too. Of course, 100 Thieves fighting to be in that top 6. Dignitas now has a chance to be in that top 6 as well, given their 2-0 and where they sit in our standings. And meanwhile... I think that TL versus Immortals is going to be interesting. I have to obviously go back and watch that Immortals series, but I think Team Liquid looked great today in their 2-0. Immortals with a good 2-0 over EG as well from the looks of things. That could be a fun series tomorrow.
Hey, they're both tied. They're both tied at the standings now.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's important.
I was going to say a fun fact, Magical. This is what's left of the clump. Is these
the
two
blob!
teams.
Damn it, it's the blob!
As there are
Hangus,
2
check
teams left.
PayPal afterwards.
Oh,
I owe you.
absolutely.
I appreciate the clump verbiage.
And then, of course, EG versus Cloud9. Cloud9 are still surging. Even though they just lost a game to Golden Guardians, it was close. The early game was crazy. It's weird to be in those situations. I still think Cloud9 Academy are one of the scariest teams that we have in the Academy scene right now. So that's the action that we have coming up next. But of course, that will wrap things up for the broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for everybody behind the scenes in production for keeping the gears rolling. My amazing broadcasters that I had on, Cubby with his dad's sweater, Magical with the turtleneck, y'all looking fancy. And especially thank you to all the players who put on that performance. We wouldn't have this show if it weren't for them willing to compete day in and day out. We'll be back with more Academy action tomorrow, same place, same time. We'll see you there.